One of the pieces of advice that I find myself giving most regularly is to test, to run tests, to confirm things you think you know, and to discover things that maybe you don't know. And it's valuable to ask questions in the monkey pod community or in any of the other Keap communities as well. But there can be some really well intentioned people offering either incomplete or inaccurate advice. And so testing is a good way to verify the advice you've been given, and to prove to yourself behaviors that you can expect when you are running automation inside Keap. And so this is a best practice that I recommend for everyone and one that I try to model myself. So the other day, I received a question about field timers, and I thought I knew the answer, but it was a simple enough scenario, so I decided to set up a test and run a test to make sure that what would happen aligned with what I expected. And I recorded that process because I think sometimes seeing how other people test something can give you a model to test your own scenarios in the future. So let's take a look. Okay, so the question here is, if I have a field timer referencing a field on the contact record that says wait until 120 days before the contact's next birthday, and the contact hits that sequence 90 days before their birthday, will it skip that item? So this is a simple enough one to test. I'm just going to jump into a demo campaign here. We'll call it free trial, and we will set up a simple sequence that allows us to test the birthday timer. So here we have a field timer, and we'll set it up to 120 days before the contact's birthday next occurrence. So there's also used year from field, which does make a difference. But for birthday, you probably don't want year from field because that's more than likely going to be in the past. Unless it's like an expectant mother's delivery date or something like that. But either way, at 8 a.m., here we go. And then we will just apply a note. So it's the birthday, and we'll just, the action doesn't matter. We just want to see birthday timer test, how this works. So sequence is ready to be published. We can add a contact to it. But first I need to set a contact whose birthday is, let's see, 90 days in the future. So let's go to Zach Morris here. And today is July 18th, so we will set the old birthday to be 1, 2, 3 months in the future. So 1 month would be, let's see, 1 month would be August, 2 months would be September, 3 months would be October. So this should be about 90 days, but definitely less than 120 days. So we will add Zach to the sequence we just set up. Free trial is the name of the campaign, and then birthday timer test, save. And then over here, we should see Zach has been added, and has slipped immediately to queued, because that timer is in the past. So 120 days before Zach's birthday would have been roughly 30 days ago. So it is not going to process the step we set up because that has, they missed that window. Now, if that's not what you wanted, there's some other ways you could configure that, right? You could set up duplicates of this with different intervals. So 120 days, 90 days, 60 days, whatever it is. You could also break this step out to be in a separate sequence, right? So in here, you could have the action you want to run. We do need to connect that, and you would want to set that as ready. And then you could just have your timer in this sequence. And the reason that would work is because if somebody entered this first sequence before 120 days, then they would wait here until the 120 day marker. But if they entered this sequence and it was, after 120 days, then they would process through and this would happen right away. So depending on what you are, like the use case, the scenario, there may be a campaign configuration that would allow you, to get what you're after. But simply put, if the birthday is, if they don't have at least 120 days, then the items you attach to that field timer will not process because they've missed the window at which they would have been scheduled. Hopefully that helps.